Hey everyone, Sky here to discuss Friday the 13th, the original Friday the 13th, starring Betsy Palmer, Adrienne King, Harry Crosby, Laurie Bartram, Robbie Morgan, Mark Nelson, Janine Taylor, Kevin Bacon, Ari Lehman, and Ron Carroll, and directed by Sean S. Cunningham. And yes, I said Kevin Bacon as in the actor from Footloose. But I never saw Footloose, so that may be for another time. But I'm here to discuss all the Friday the 13th from this original all the way to this remake. So let's see how this series goes, cause okay. In Camp Crystal Lake in the year 1958, some campers sing a camp song until a secret serial killer kills a couple of camp counselors that were having sexual intercourse, and the screaming as well as the acting was overall very bad in this scene and in this whole movie. Throughout the score sounded a hell of a lot like the 1960s Psycho, which I just reviewed recently, and a lot of slasher movies have that movie to thank for that genre. On Friday, June 13th, 1980, a hitchhiker girl named Annie tries to ask around how to get to Camp Crystal Lake, and people say, "You can't go there, it's Camp Blood, and it's got a death cuss," which is hilarious. And this dialogue is so awful, I can just laugh at this entire fucking movie and this premise. Annie is just the most annoying character in this movie in the history of cinema, just like Jar Jar Binks in the Star Wars prequels, but much worse than Jar Jar. We meet some campers like Kevin Bacon and as a young man and his friend and girlfriend arriving at Camp Crystal Lake, as well as Steve Christie and his assistant Alice, who's running the camp. And I don't like or care for these characters. As Steve asks, "Do I really look like that?" and Alice said, "You did last night." It's just so cringe-worthy dialogue and badly written and acted at by the actors. Steve's other assistant, Bill, is another person who helps run the camp, and Annie, who hasn't arrived or never will because she gets killed by the mystery killer because she hates having to call children kids, as she thinks it's like little goats. And I'm like, you know what? Just shut up. Okay? Just shut the fuck up, please. And she gets cut, and thank God she got killed because she was annoying. Throughout the movie, I felt that way every time I saw her scenes. One of the campers, Ned, is just pretends to drown, and like we'll learn later that a young boy named Jason drowned, and just faking it, not Jason but Ned. And I thought, you prick. Next thing you know, Alice finds a snake and the campers kill it, and in fun fact, they found that snake in one of the cabins and killed it and put it in the movie. And if they put no animals were harmed in the making of this movie, they were lying. But at the same time, it was really the funniest scene in the movie. Then a cop shows up looking for Crazy Ralph, whom they didn't see until the next scene, and warns them about death in the camp. And this movie is just pure laughable. Not scary, but laughable. Kevin Bacon and his girlfriend are smooching up the storm, and Ned goes in the cabin because he sees someone going in there and has an off-screen death, and a storm comes, to the camp, and it pours like hell, and Kevin Bacon and his girlfriend have sexual intercourse, and Ned is dead on the top of the bunker bed, and she goes to the bathroom, and Kevin Bacon gets killed in the neck, and the girlfriend screams until she's dead with a Katharine Hepburn impression, which looked pretty bad. Alice, Bill, and another girl play a game of Strip Monopoly, which is a 4-hour game, Monopoly in general, as the girl's stripped to the bra and panties, and Bill barely strips, and which doesn't make any sense. And couldn't she just say, "I'll be right back," and return to the game, as she was about to go to the car because she left something in there? It's just a problematic scene. And did Steve just stay in town and sip coffee all afternoon? Why did he have to be in the town when it started raining? Which is, again, a real fucking problem. But hell, this whole movie does have a bunch of problems. people are getting killed left to right, like Steve, Bill, and pretty much everybody except for Alice and Mrs. Voorhees shows up as the friendly friend of the Christies, I'll say, which I didn't believe her when she said that, but it could be the truth. I don't know when she I don't know, but she talks with Alice about a little boy drowning in the water at camp, Crystal Lake, and it was her son Jason. And Mrs. Voorhees goes after Alice with Jason telling her to, in her head, to kill Alice, and she gets in a car with a dead body, and I thought, get in the car, and she got out because of the body. Get the body out of the car, and you're safe. But unfortunately, she's too stupid to do that. But for the life of me, if I were running around for Mrs. Voorhees, I would just put the fucking body out of the goddamn way. And she tries to escape on the boat, and I thought, what the hell is that? Alice grabs the machete and beheads Mrs. Voorhees and goes to the boat and to float in the water. And next day, Saturday the 14th, puts her hand in the water, and Jason jumps out of the water and attacks Alice, and she's hospitalized, and she realizes Jason is still out there. And I thought, what kind of a bad ending is that? But all the movies have bad endings. What the hell am I talking about? But there's a bunch of sequels, and that is an ending I was I guess interesting if you were watching the sequels, but as a standalone movie, it doesn't make much sense. Now it's time for the rating. I'll give this movie a 3.9 out of 10. The acting and the writing and the score and the direction it took was really bad, but at the same time, it was a silly movie. A very silly movie. There were questionable decisions about the script which caused a bunch of problems. This movie isn't scary, but it was more laughable. And for a horror film, and Jason better show his face in the next movie, or else, or two, I'll say, or else, because this is a long series and I'm already starting off with a bad taste in my mouth. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining me, and next week I will be back with Friday the 13th Part 2. And until next time, shh, shh, shh.